So the first animal are these Barbary sheep. They come from North Africa. They are sure-footed jumpers and climbers, but they are still pursued by the native African the natives in Africa.
Why is my camera so
Now,
blurry?
all the males and females all have little horns, even the babies do. You'll see a lot of babies, and we do have many of the Barbary sheep.
Barbarian. Barbarian. Estos son chivos baby.
Now you'll see them standing on these big rocks up here, and they stand up there for an hour or two.
Barbarian chivos. Mira chivos largados. Oh my god.
Now I got some here.
No, I took a picture of Ronaldo.
Alex just standing still, Barbary sheep.
What?
An ostrich.
Ostrich.
That's the monkey motel.
The ostriches are always. Where? The ostriches are always so and come up to the window.
Yes.
So we're having an ostrich come
Miss
up on
Grasso,
this
you
side,
went to prom
okay?
yesterday.
I didn't go. Did you?
It's not yellow. This one is a female. Her feathers are a dull gray brown. The male's feathers are
Oh,
black.
the ostrich. ¿Cómo se llama esto?
Now the ostrich is the largest living flightless bird.
Yeah, look at the ostrich.
Give me a second and I'll move up for you, okay?
Hey, Miss Holly, look at the ostrich.
If you get a chance to look at their feet, they look really prehistoric.
I see the, over this way. Look where those
Now,
cars are going
they're
around.
not
Look
the
straight out,
smartest
the
of
drops.
creatures, as their brains are only about the size of one of their eyeballs. There he makes a nest, he stands guard, and he sits on the eggs at night. And one ostrich egg will weigh up to 4
Where is he?
pounds. You'll see one of the rhinos just had a mud bath. He's rolling around in the mud, eh?
Wait, where is it?
Now they can't completely roll over because they do have a spine that sticks out like ours, kind of. It sticks out though, so that's why they can't completely roll over. But he tried to. Do they what? Yes, they do.
I know.
You'll see some of our Barbary sheep up on this rock pile here. And we're gonna see another ostrich on the right side here.
Wait, is that a sheep or is that a goat?
There's an ostrich next to the car.
They're called the eland. They are the largest of the antelope. Now both males and females have large slender horns, but the females have larger, more slender horns than the males. But as you can see, they're really not white, but they are slate gray in color. Or mud covered, yes. Now they have two horns, one behind the other one. Their horns are made of keratin, which is the same protein that makes up our hair and fingernails. Which means square-lipped, because essentially they are a grazing animal, and their broad square lip allows them to eat the grasses, as they are strictly vegetarians.
They're horns.
Oh, yeah. We will see them all.
So we should eat. Hey, change it.
Type of antelope, and they're called the addax.
I know.
He's laying down, he's
The addax, oh, another one's rolling around in the mud there.
sleeping. Massage.
Water.
Yes, it's a massage.
Massage? Doing massage, Hector?
No. What?
Is he okay? I give you a
What's the
massage.
Something wrong with your shoes? Where are you?
They can move quite quickly when they want to.
I think John having a massage. Babies.
Oh.
Babies.
If I had a
You see that a lot of our animals are still trying to lose that heavy winter fur. Now on the left side are wildebeest, you'll see with their body mass concentrated in the upper torso and thick neck.
Leahy, look, it's you. A tall
The
giraffe.
one on my left side with her tongue hanging out is, her name is Kikuyu. She was born with a birth defect and her bottom jaw is actually sideways, but that hasn't prevented her from growing up healthy and strong. It just means that her tongue sticks out and she drools a little bit. And you'll see that they do like to twirl the sticks in their mouths. Now each giraffe has its own unique set of spots, just like you and I have our own unique set of fingerprints. And they have those bumps on the top of their head. They're called ossicones. They are not horns, but they are actually part of their skull. When they walk with both. They have a very strong, powerful heart, and their adult heart can weigh up to 24 pounds, and the large size is needed to get the blood all the way up that long neck into their brain. Now giraffes sleep as little as 30 minutes a day, and they usually do so while standing. In the wild, they would never lay down to sleep because of predators, but here they feel safe enough that every once in a while you'll see them laying down. Now when they're first born, they weigh they stand about 6 feet tall. They're animals except for defense of itself or its young, but they kill their population.
Wow. There's something wrong?
Not here. Well, there may be garter snakes. Now you see the one walking up this way, the Vanna. A healthy animal coped with the heat of Africa. The black stripe absorbs the heat here. Now our zebra truck will stay with them because they don't want anyone to get
Animal very old. Like that old. Very old.
down in front of us. The watering hole is where the Barbary sheep and the rhinos like to come and take a bath. The giraffes will come down and have a drink. And then now the males are red, but the females and the younger ones are gray color. Now a male kangaroo is referred to as a buck boomer jackal.
Oh wow, he is very large.
You can see the bumps on his back leg. And his horns just starting to grow. We have our Sika deer. Their most noticeable feature is the patch of white hairs that conceals its short little tail. You can see their antlers are getting to be a fair size by now. And they do have spots. Now you can see up on our mountain there we have, they're called nilgai. They are the largest of the Indian antelope. They have white spots on their cheek, and they have black rings around their ankles, making it look like they're wearing socks and sandals.
Socks and sandals.
Now the males, sometimes they're gray color, but sometimes they look blue in some lights. So sometimes they are called the blue bull. Here's more nilgai around the corner.
It's like a Bambi.
See the rings around their ankles, making it look like socks and sandals?
Yeah, it's okay. Bambi, is that a Bambi?
Now our game warden is picking some of the weeds that are poisonous to our animals. And if you look along the water's edge, you'll see two great big deer, and they're called Pear David deer. They have a head like a horse, a tail like a donkey, and hooves like a cow, but they have webbing between their toes for swimming, which makes them really good swimmers. This Chinese deer is still considered vulnerable, and serious efforts are needed to conserve them.
He's sleeping, he's saying.
Am I sleeping?
He's sleeping.
No.
The tail
Is it?
but behind it is.
Now the
Eric, do you
next
like
animal
swan?
is this shaggy ox
Yes,
called
too.
a yak, and they are native
Yes,
to
too.
Tibet. Now they will have one baby in every other year, as the baby is dependent on the mother for the first entire season.
Where?
And in times of danger, the mother mothers will form a protective circle around the baby with their fully protected by Chinese law. It is estimated there's less than 5,000 takin in the wild with fewer than 50 in North American zoos. Now they have a couple unique females sleeping.
It's a lion.
They're lying around. Now we have a lot of babies in here, so sometimes I really have to look hard to find them.
I tried to recording on the animals.
You'll get to see the talking better on this side too.
King Julian.
Ready?
There are two little babies in here, about a week old, and you can kind of see them near the back a bit. Now the females' horns only get up to 21 inches, but these guys are very sure-footed jumpers and climbers, and they can jump 6.5 feet in height. They have no problems maneuvering the system and go well away from the main herd to have their. You can also see them when you go on the train.
See it.
Tiny babies. Now they help from Europe and Great Britain. There's sometimes called the park deer. It is only the males that grow the antlers, and the antlers only begin to grow in the deer's second year of life, and at that time they are called a picket. Now you can see there's just of the deer family.
You're a big ol'
The moose is the largest, and the big one with the antlers right there next to the bus, his name is Harold. The longest, their antlers can grow up to 3 feet. They are the fastest growing bone of their antlers that can grow up to 1 inch per day in the summer season. As we just saw, this is a baby one. You can tell because they're darker in color. This one is about a week old, and it took about 2 days for him to get him on his feet.
más oscuro.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby, baby.
And there's
Very
an elk right beside the bus here.
Oh, damn.
The prairie bison are often mistaken for buffalo. Their babies are the rusty red color, and they weigh between 30 and 50 pounds when first born, which is a far cry from what their parents weigh. The parents can tip the scales at 2,800
Look, there's a baby.
Now you'll see the ones next to me here. They gradually darken to a dark color, and they begin to develop the shaggy manes and horns that their parents possess. They did go extinct in